Why, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Hooray It's Thursday. I'm here live from the beautiful sunny central coast of New South Wales in Australia. My name is Courtney. I'm an Australian demonstrator with Stampin Up. I'd like to say welcome and thank you for joining us today. I have got some fun things on my table. I'm not, oh, yep, you can see them. They're just popped down there in the bottom corner. I'll just pop these back up just so that you can have a sticky. I'm looking at some of our sentiment stamp sets today. Stampin' Up has a variety of sentiment stamp sets. These are some of the ones that I own. They're not all of them. We've got a few sentiment only stamp sets. So I thought I'd just have a bit of a play with these. We have a couple of great new things that I can tell you about before we get started. We have currently got a joining special. With that joining special, it's the first month of the Stampin' Up year. October's the month that we start and we work through towards the end of September. So to start the year off with a bang, Stampin' Up is offering a value add Stampin' Up kit joining special. With that value add, you're actually going to get more products in your cart and in your kit, or in your kit, thus saving you extra dollars. Great time to do some Christmas crafting. Great time to get up your collect your stash. Hi Elizabeth, how are you going? It's good to see you here. I love it when friends join us. I was just telling everyone about the fabulous value adds joining kit that we've got happening at the moment. There's a couple of other beauties that happen when you join, is that you have access to anything that's on pre-order, and we do have some pre-order goodies available at the moment. They are for the New Year release. They're for our what's it called, for Valentine's Day. So they're online exclusives, and these ones they're going to be the only offering for Valentine's Day that Stampin' Up are doing for this year, for our upcoming February time. So it is important. It's a good idea to join because you get to have all those perks. They're also bringing out a new color coach. I don't know if anyone's seen that wheel. If you look in the current catalog, I'll just pop this up on my screen. We've got this great color wheel in here. Stampin' Up are actually bringing out one of these. We got it at, yep, grab a cuppa. Good idea. We got one of these when we went to Onstage. Onstage is a demonstrator only perk where we get to go and see new stuff, play with new stuff, and get together. So that's another great reason for joining. They gave us one of these, and it's interactive, so you can actually move this middle bit around. So if you're interested in anything like that, you can actually add it to your kit because it is on pre-order. So it will be coming out. I'm not sure if it's going to be a demonstrator only supply, but just to give you the heads up, that is coming. So if you want one of those, might want to get onto your demonstrator. So what I've pulled up onto my table is some of our fabulous expressions, sayings, our sentiments. There's inside sentiments, there's outside sentiments. Got a variety of stamp sets, being cling stamp sets or photopolymer. So we've got just about every occasion covered. Now, the other thing that, I love the color wheel. I've got mine from Onstage, but I will be getting one of the new ones because the new one doesn't have the in colors in it, which will make it so it lasts longer. So I pulled out this designer series paper. This is a specialty paper, and I thought you all might like it. It's Seasons of Green and Gold. Now, it is Christmas designer series paper, but it's got, I'm not sure, see how it's got gold on it? How pretty is that? So we get, let me see, what the colors we're using is Garden Green, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, and Berry Vanilla. Now, I know we don't have Berry Vanilla envelopes, and I was talking to one of my team members the other day, and we were discussing that, and one of the things I said, you can actually use your blending brush and you can add a little bit of color, maybe with your pecan pie, to the edges of your envelope, and that will make it take off that whiteness from it so that it goes a little bit, it goes better with anything that's got the Berry Vanilla in it if you're wanting to have a coordinating envelope. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, look at those bells, aren't they fabulous? 4, 5 and 6 different pieces of designer series paper here. Okay, where's that one's other mate? Oh, it's hiding under there. All right, on this particular side, they have gold foil. Now, there is a vellum set that goes with this, and I didn't bring it over, but that's okay. I used it last week. And on the other side, we've got our varieties of greens. Now, anybody that knows me and knows me well knows that I am a green fan. Even though I'm sitting here in a blue shirt, I could have planned this so much better. But I really don't have a plan. Hi, Sharon. How are you going? I really don't have a plan for what I'm doing today because I'm actually going to turn this fabulous Christmas paper into a sympathy card. Now, I'm up for the challenge. Who's with me? All right. Sympathy cards are some of those cards that we are. It's actually probably the one that I am more neurotic about sending than any other card. And the reason being is that I think it's an important time to reach out. And some people, you might not be able to be there with them in person. It's nice for them to know that you are with them. And I just found I was looking at this paper thinking it's so pretty. And yes, it is a Christmas paper, but it is so pretty that we can use it for other things. And green and gold, although Christmassy, make I reckon they'd be fabulous for our sympathy cards. So we're going to use some of that. I did decide to go with clean and simple, hence why I've got all of these. Oh, that's the other thing I thought I might point out. This one's not done yet, but you notice how I've got dots on my stamp sets? Yellow means it's in the catalogue. Green means it's an online exclusive. So if ever you see one of mine doing, as it flings past, if ever you see that, you know that's how I colour code my stamp sets. Okay, so I thought I'd do a fairly clean and simple card with you today. I've got my white envelope. I've got some basic white thick cardstock. These are fabulous gems. They are earth tone shimmer gems, and it's really hard. Look at that. Hi, Chris. How you going? Look, aren't they pretty? So we've got some like pale creamy coloured ones. These are a little bit darker than the others. A nice green colour and a coppery sort of colour. So they do match our cardstock perfect. Our papers and some of our cardstock, but they also match this paper. They're actually from. Who can remind me? I think they're from, let me see if I remember correctly. I like to have my catalogues handy when I'm sitting here. Do you think I remember what page though? Yeah, that's them. The Nests of Winter Sweet. So does it tell me what colour? No, it just tells me that they're earth tones. And they go with this designer series paper as well as they go with that designer series paper. So you can use them for more than one thing, but they're just really pretty. All right. And they'll actually work quite perfectly. Now, although we've got our background, our base being very vanilla, some of our images are backed with white. Yes, these papers are so me, aren't they, Chris? So I had a circle left over from the weekend. I thought I bought 2 of those. This is a piece of garden green. We've got a piece of basic white to go over that. Piece of basic white for our inside. I thought I bought 2 garden greens over, but we'll have to see how we go with that because I do have a little bit of an idea as to what I want to do. So we'll just gather these up and I'll just do some of my basic housekeeping stuff, which is, this is just a A4 piece of cardstock cut in half. So we're looking at, we've got 21-ish centimetres by 14.9. So I like to do portrait cards. I know my friend Chris likes to do landscape cards. If I'm doing a landscape card, I do cut the cardstock differently. So mainly because when I'm standing up a card, I like it to stand nice and firm like so. When you're doing a landscape card and you have to stand it like that, they sort of get a bit of a splay thing happening. So we don't want that. Right, so that's that and my inside. Okay, my garden green is just going to pop on there. First things first though, I thought I'd show you something. I've been ratting around the internet today, so I thought I'd show you something I saw this morning. Okay, I am going to emboss this beautiful piece of basic white, and I've brought over the distressed tiles. Now, what I'm going to do with it though is just to make it a little bit different. I'm going to ink it up with some Versamark. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can ink it up. You can just go straight on top, which is essentially what I'm going to do. So you're all going to wobble around a bit. All right. But I don't know how smooth, how anywhere my colour's gone or what it's up to. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do with that. This is our brayer. Just to make it so it sticks nice and it's nice and flat and nice and smooth, you can run your brayer over it. I'm going to pop my paper on here, close up my ink pad, and we're going to send this through our cut and emboss machine. Now, yes, I only use Versamark. And you're thinking, you're not even going to be able to see that. You're right, you're not. I'm just grabbing this. Yeah, you won't be able to see the Versamark. Versamark is clear. It's sticky. Popping in with my spine first. And then what I'm going to do, now my Versamark will be, it's come off my embossing folder. It is on my tiles. And this is my embossing powder. Now, I keep my embossing powder in these little containers. I keep a spoon with them. Our current embossing powders are from Wow. You get a clear gloss, ebony, which is black, and you get a white in the packet. So what I'm going to do, we were using this on the weekend. She fits in here beautifully. I'm just going to put, this one here is bright white regular. Now, where that Versamark is where my powder is going to stick. It won't stick in the grooves. It's just going to stick there. Okay, wherever the Versamark landed. Okay, and I can sort of see it. The reason why I like this container is I can put it back into its little thingy if I want. That's why the spoon's in here. So you can pop it back in, but I have a tendency not to. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, now if you've got our embossing tools and all that sort of stuff, which I did have on the table when I moved, I'll just grab it. We've got a set of tweezers, the brush, and the nice pen, but I will honestly say I don't know where I've put it. But we will just, you know, forget that, okay? It's in a safe spot. So now this is going to be really noisy with my heat tool. The tempered glass mat, you can heat it. It's fine. You can put your cup of tea on it. You can use your heat tool on it. Now, for those that know, that have been following me for a while, this is the old Stampin' Up tool, heat tool. That's the one I've got. There is a new one. It's a different color. It's a slightly browner color, but the new one's got 2 settings. Mine's only got on or off, so I do have to hold it a bit further away. Now, when I've turned it on, you won't necessarily be able to hear me. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch it. Just keep your tool moving until you can start to see the magic happen. And the magic happening is when that white, which currently looks all dusty and whatnot, starts to change colour. So it'll go from that dusty, dirty look to a white. I'm thinking I probably should pull it up and show you the difference, but I will when I get down to that bottom corner. Now, I do have a friend that's absolutely allergic to everything, and she's actually allergic to our embossing, like all of our embossing things like this, so she only can dry emboss. She doesn't heat emboss and she doesn't wet emboss because the smell of them actually gets it going. So it's actually really important to make sure that you're in a well-ventilated room. Now, I haven't finished it, but I will pick it up to show you. These are cool. You squeeze them and they open rather than any other way around. So I will pick this up because, you know, it's just going to play nice. So I'm not sure how easy that is to see. Parts of it are shiny and other parts of it are dull. Where it's dull is where the embossing hasn't happened yet. So I just need to check. Excuse the top of my head. And we just need to go over here a bit. Okay, so it just gives us a different look. So I'm not sure how easy that's going to be to see. Everything looks better in real life, as we all know. But it's got like a shine on it and it's white. Okay, so what I've done now is if I wanted to get my blending brush out, I could, and it would blend only on the places where there's no embossing powder or no embossing. So it just looks really pretty. It just gives it a different look, and it would be way more noticeable on a different piece, but that's okay. We're not popping it on another piece today. So you don't need to just use your embossing folders just for dry embossing. You can use them for heat embossing. You can use them for everything. And I'll tell you, if you give them a nice warm soapy wash, they work perfectly as a cookie embosser. So, sorry, excuse me, for if you're cooking and doing decorative cookies, they work perfectly. Oh yeah, it's working. They work perfectly as a cookie, you can get really good prints with them on your icing and stuff like that. So I'll just smooth that glue out a bit because I don't need all of that glue in that one spot. All right. It's giving it a real big squeeze and it just sort of decided to come and greet me. Okay, and we'll pop that. My glass mat's nice and warm. And I've noticed that by using the glass mat, things don't seem to curl as bad because I can hold them down on it. And the heat, it holds the heat a little bit too. But yeah, it's nice and warm, my glass mat now. So just press that down. Okay, so that's just pretty by itself, I think. But we're going to play with some more things. So with this designer series paper, I'll just put my heat gun out of the way. All right, where did I put my stamp set? Okay, it's developed legs and got up and left. This is golden greenery that goes with this paper. Now, it's really pretty. It's a photopolymer stamp set. The images on here are shown at 75%. So as you can imagine, they are heaps bigger than what you anticipate. Now, it does have bells. It does have leaves, and it's got like little holly. It's got little berries and all that sort of stuff. But we're not making a Christmas card, okay? So this is the dies that go with it. These are fabulous. You actually get 13 dies, and look at them. So we've got the ones that cut out our images. We can even cut berries out, all right? But look at these pieces over here. How fabulous are these leaves? They can be made into just about any sort of flourish that you like, okay? So we could cut out our stamp ones. We could do that. But then when we look in here, I'll just bring these two out and the bells do it as well, but maybe I won't. They're nice and firm. We can cut some of our images from here. So we will actually get, with these images, we don't need to use our stamp, but that will cut out this image here, and this one here will get cut out with that one. This one here cuts out that. And this little guy here cuts out these little guys. So there's lots of fun things that you can do in here. Okay, just saying. Now, the other thing that's really cool with this paper, I just love the fact that it's just so pretty. This one here, now if I remember correctly, no, these ones don't cut out, okay? So you'd have to fussy cut these ones, all right? But when you look at the back, it's check, and I love check. All right, so I know the other side's the pretty side, but we're going to have a little piece of check. Whoopsie. Oh, so it's trying to run away from me up there. So I'm just going to bring my trimmer in, move all that to the side. I love my trimmer. And I'm just going to get a little piece of check. Now, because I make my cards in portrait, I'm just going to take off a little. I only want about 3 centimeters. Let's go with 3.5. So I've got 3.5 centimeters. So I've still got enough, and I've cut it in a way that I can just cut this down the middle, and I can still get 6 card fronts out of it. Okay. So I do like to be conscious of how I'm cutting things. Now that is 9.5 centimeters, that piece at the front there. So we need a 9.5 centimeter piece. And you know what? I might put another 9.5 centimeter strip. Actually, no, I'll think about that before I cut it on the inside there. Now, what I will suggest with these pieces is that if you're going to cut them with your dies, is that you actually cut them out before you shove it through your die maker. So I want at least this one. Okay, I want you. And you know what, just because I can, I'm going to take this one here. So this is really cool because you can use these pieces like this. And the reason being is the way that I'm going to cut them, the way that I'm going to place them will make it so that they actually sit quite nicely, even though it's only half a plant, for want of a better way of putting it. All right. Even this is really cool on the back. Okay, and do I need another one of those? Oh, I haven't got any of those yet. Yep, I need a full one of these. Now, the colour that's on here, I would normally jump automatically to cutting out and stamping with black and when I'm playing with these colours. But today I actually brought over my early espresso. So they're all going to get cut out with these 2 pieces. So that's for them. Now, don't forget, if you do what I just did with that embossing folder, you need to clean it, and you will also need to wash the brayer, because they've both got our far out Brussels sprouts. They've both got Versamark on them. My brain is going 100 miles a minute, and it's trying to stay in front of me, and it's not working for me today. All right. See this pretty piece? Let's bring in some more. Ah, hi Cheryl, how you going? Yeah, you are a bit late today. Right. These leaves are a little bit directional again, so I am going to be very conscious of the way I cut them. I'm only going to do a 2.5 centimeter strip with these ones. And again, I'll do 9.5. And these are just little layering pieces. Okay. So it's a good way if you have, this is the first time I've cut into this pack, but if you have pieces that are scraps, you can use up some of your scraps for this sort of thing. And you can just layer them on top of each other like so. And they come up pretty. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to sentiments, we've got heaps to choose from. So you have a choice as to what you're going to pop them on. If you're going to pop them on a circle, then you need something that's going to fit on your circle. If you're going to pop them on a strip, you need something that's going to fit on your strip. If you're going to cut it out and then, if you're going to stamp it, then decide what you're going to put it on, then you've got that as well. So, hi Pauline. So depending on what you're thinking that you're going to play with and what you're going to put on will depend on the size of your sentiment. You'll see here this sentiment's quite small. Again, these are only at 80%. So you may need your actual stamp or the inside. The inside of the stamp set has them at the same size. You'll also note when you get them, they're in exactly the same spot as what they are in the stamp set. So here's my With Sympathy. It's going to be really, really huge on that circle. So I don't think we need either such a big circle or such a little sympathy. Now, because that circle's already cut for me, because it's one that I'd previously cut, let's see what else I can find. Let me say, thinking of you. Again, these ones must be at the right size because there's no comment here. It only tells you if they're a different size on the front to what's on the stamp set if there's a little words here. So see how this one says images at 80%? All right, so Thinking of You will fit very nicely in the bottom of that circle, but it takes up, only the bottom. So it's nice. It will work for what I'm thinking. Then we've got this one here. Now, this is a red rubber cling stamp set. So it makes it a little bit harder. Oh, and it's brand new. Makes it a little bit harder. But if you have your piece of red rubber that you've kept, I can tell you now by sticking that over the top of that, see how you can see the bits on the side? It's not going to fit. Okay? So that one is not going to fit to do what I want to do. But that is a very nice stamp. Aren't they just lovely? Okay, Simply Said, Thinking of You there in very, where is it? That one's Happy Birthday. Okay, there it is there. It's a little one. Okay. And again, I'm thinking we're going to go with, so far, we've got these two Thinking of Yous. Okay. Got all bits of plastic in there. And then we've got this fabulous great big With Sympathy here. Again, it's another red rubber one. If I take it out of there, I can see that it's going to fit. I can see that it's going to fit, and it's actually going to fit quite nicely. I'm tempted that we will go with this one. Okay. All right. So now I've got to put this all back together in here, and this is how I store them. And the reason why I do it this way is because this doesn't stick to the stamp. Well, it sticks a little bit, but not a lot. So I do normally keep it in here. Now, if you want to, you can stick your thing on the back, but you don't have to. Any newbies out there? Well, they're probably a bit too shy. The way I do my stamps, there's two different ways you can do them. Okay, there's the way that you can do them that's in the front of the folder here, or this way. Okay, so with this piece here, what I'll do, all right, is I'm going to put make these little bits that are on where the stamp, where the sticker is this side up, because that's the side that ends up on our stamp. Okay, I'm going to pull that off. Oh, it does, it fits on there. I'll put on the big one for this. I'm going to put on this big stamp here, push it down on either side, and I'll pull these two pieces off. Now what I can do, I have to stand up for this, so sorry, and you're going to get some really good fun shots there. Oops. You can keep this as a mask if you want, but I have a tendency not to. So what I do now, just make sure that you don't end up seeing straight down my top there, is now I'll line it up with my stamp so that it ends up on that block perfectly. Okay, and that's how I do all of mine. I just find it the easiest way to do it, and it's just the way I like doing it. Okay, so we'll put all those other ones back away. All right, and that will fit quite nicely down there. Now, what I was thinking, now I've got a circle. I don't necessarily need to keep it as a circle. There's lots of different things we can do. With this one being red rubber, you do have the choice that you can stamp it with one color or you can stamp it with two. If you wanted to stamp it with two, you could actually color it in with your markers, which I didn't bring over to the table. So I will be stamping this one in early espresso. Okay, mainly to go with, can you see them? The lines in here. Okay. Oh, it's not the wettest stamp set in the city. Or wettest stamp pad. But we'll see how we go. And the beauty of it about being a circle, as long as I get that width square. Hey, ay, 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 ay. That's cool. Did you see what I did? Right. How am I going to fix that? Well, that was not part of the plan, but it's something that we all do frequently. What I'm talking about is my edge shadow. So I still want to use this. So let's do some chopping. The reason why I want to use this is because I didn't bring another one over. So my width there, and line it up, making sure my width is straight with my line. So hold your teeth right. Eyeball it a bit. And let's chop that bit off. So now I don't have a full circle, but that's okay. I don't have any shadow either. And you're all going, what? What are you going to do? Okay, so what am I going to do? Well, a couple of things. I've got this little pretty decorative piece here. And that is seriously just going to sit under there. Do we like that? I don't. Just saying. I'm wishing I'd made it smaller. Let's just try something else. Well, that throws a spanner in the works. I really liked how that one was looking. Where's this one? Here it is here. Let's see if I can make this better. No matter how long you've been stamping for, that was silly, we can often still have an oops. So with this other half, I'm not happy. You know how I say there's two sides to every piece of cardstock? There's not when you've got a cutout die. All right. So let me see if I can get this to work. If not, I'm ducking across the table to find something else. Okay. And note to self, re-ink my early espresso with sympathy. Okay. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be better. All right. Now I think that's going to be better. What do you reckon? What are we going with? Little one, big one? I'm thinking that we're going with the little one. Okay, so because I do want to stamp some leaves, I'm going to stamp. These are 2-step stamps. Oh, they're rowdy. I'm going to stamp. This one here's like little hearts. This one, I do love it. And what I want to do is I want to stamp it with, what's that one there? I want to stamp it and I want to add a little bit of pecan pie to it just to bring that little extra bit of colour in. Okay, so we've got 2 different stamps to make the one image. Yeah, I think it's much better small as well, Chris. All right, so these have got gold on them. So our old olive is going to work beautifully. Okay. I've got old olive and garden green here with me, and I've got some pecan pie. So I'm going to do old olive in this paler colour. Now, depending on how wet your ink is, will depend on how dark it stamps. What I just did then was silly and it makes it look funny. So we'll just turn that over and we'll stamp it again. I was trying to make it look paler, but it didn't work. Okay, and then I'm actually going to bring my garden green in with my pecan pie. So, Pauline, I'm not sure what you guys call this technique, but I know that it does have a name. So I'm just going to put a bit of pecan pie on it. So there's only a little bit on it. And I'm just going to stamp it off a little bit. Actually, I'll stamp it off on a scrap piece of paper. Okay, it's just an envelope that I've been writing stuff on. And then I'm just going to rock and roll some garden green around it. And although it didn't work last time, I'm going to do it again. And I'm hoping that it works this time. But it doesn't look like it's going to. Oh. Stamp that off. The garden green's taking over. I had a dauber on the table, but I'll use my brush. Okay, so a bit of pecan pie and a bit of garden green. Okay, so I'm putting garden green on using my blending brush because my dauber's not here. I have no idea where it has landed. Okay, and then pop this one on over the top of that one. And I know the girls from close to my heart call it something different. And it just gives us a different tone. So it's got like, it's got like 3 different tones on that one leaf. Okay, you can stamp this one first if you want to, but I'll show you what the difference being. And we'll just give that a bit of a dauber around, because I don't have my dauber here. All right, so see how that bit there's 2 tones? Okay, and then if you wanted to, nobody said you have to actually stamp it with that. You can stamp it if you would like. The other way that you can colour these leaves is using the blending brush and just colour them like so. Okay, and now we'll cut them out. Okay, so let's do some chopping. These dies work with your mini as well. Mine's on the table though, so I'll bring in the big boy. Okay. So while I'm chopping these out, the other thing that's happening in Stampin' Up World today is that there is a special on our kits, where at the moment, if you purchase a kit, you can get them at 30% off. So that is great value, considering quite a lot of our kits there's some fabulous Christmas ones, and there's some all occasion ones, and there's even a little scrapbooking journal. There's quite a few lovely kits. So you can also add those to a joining kit, so you can get a bit of twice as much bang for your buck. Anything that gets put into your joining kit up to 200, I think it's 81 or 86, don't hold me, $86, because it's $286 because it's $51 extra. Anything that gets put in that kit is also shipping free. And what you'll find is that's about $17 that you're going to save. Now look at this. How good does that look? All right. And that's the one that I didn't colour. Do the second stamp on. All right, so I'll just do this. I'll cut this other one, and then we can see them side by side. All right, so I've cut out that one, and I'm going to cut out. Oopsie. I'm trying to do 2 at a time, so you don't have to see me shove it through so many times. But I normally die cut standing up, so this is very weird sitting down doing it. It's good for your muscles in your arms sometimes. So there's lots of different options for beginner crafters. They make great Christmas gifts. So if you've got a little crafter in the family and you think that they might like a little kit for Christmas, now's the time to get them while they're 30% off, and then that bit of your Christmas shopping is done. All right, so look at the difference. See? This one here, I just coloured, I just stamped the single, I don't know, what would you call it, a skeleton stamp, and then I've just coloured it with the blending brush. This one here, I've just tone on tone, added a couple of colours, sort of rocked and rolled it around a bit, okay? And now we need some of these ones, because the gold's pretty. And then depending on how you want to do this card, depends on what ones of these you use. All right. So if you would like, you can just use the images that we've cut out from the designer series paper, or you can use, because they've got gold on them and they're pretty, like, I mean, really, they're just lovely. You can also just use the stamped ones. It's up to you. All right. But there's something special about lots of leaves. Oh, I thought I'd done that one bodgy, but I didn't, which was good. And I've got 2 more. So that one there. And I'll do this one here, just so that I can show you how I use those edge bits. They're also really good on scrapbooking pages. Leaf clusters look just lovely. Sharon and Pauline will agree with me, I'm sure. That's if they haven't ducked off. Oh, look at that. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Okay. And we've got that one. And we've got that one. And we've got all these scraggly bits. Okay. So what I was thinking is I like that. I did bring over, where is it hiding? A roll of ribbon. Fine. Because I wasn't sure if I was going to need it or want it. So I've got a variety of colours here. This is normally, I think it's a 4-pack normally because there's black in it usually and I can't find it. I think I've used it all. It's one of the, I've used so many of this Baker's Twine, it's not funny. So with these ones, they can actually go on the side like so. So what I'm going to do is, this piece is not stuck on our white cardstock yet, but this piece is going to get stuck down. Look at those bells, aren't they glorious? Bye-bye, bells. Oops, I got glue on my my mat. If I stick that over the top of that, that won't matter. Now I've cut that the same size as here, but I am using my grid lines to make sure that I am straight. I do love this glass mat. Okay, this one here I'm going to put like so. Okay, so it does have an edge on it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because it's going against an edge. So it actually looks like it's supposed to be like that. Okay, so don't think that the edges are wasted. They're not. They're actually fabulous still, and you can use them to your advantage. Okay, and that one's going to go under there like so. All right, and then we're going to cluster this up with the other leaves. Yep, see? Okay, now it's up to you if you want to use the ones that you've stamped. I think they'll work, and I think they'll look pretty. Just for something a little bit different. And this one here. Yep. All right, that one there. Does it need that one? And think about where you're putting stuff, and yeah. Okay, so that one is actually going to go like so. Okay, I'm not going to use this one because I don't think it works. Okay, I think I need to keep those bits that are white there. We'll put this one in underneath here, underneath that with sympathy. Okay, now I do want to put a decorative piece of twine that I'm going to tie around that middle piece. Now, when I tie pieces around the middle piece, there's a couple of things that I keep in mind. I use my tear tape. My ladies that come to class will know what I do here. I use my tear tape, not my glue dots. I don't know why I've got them here. And I'm thinking I'm thinking I might need 2 colours. What do you reckon? We'll go with white when we can find the end bit. Look, there it is. And would you reckon this is taupey colour? And taupe. The way I do this, it's stuck to the table, it doesn't want to move, is I turn my piece over, I tape it on. All right. Tape that on there. And then I wind it round. Now, what I'm going to do with these pieces is I'm actually going to twist them a bit. Come on, twist nice. Just for a bit of a different look. Okay, and because I've twisted it before I've stuck them down, get a look at this. It turns out quite pretty. Oh, see how it's twisted a little bit? Just for a bit of different texture. Now this piece here is going to get stuck on with dimensionals. All right. We don't want to stick our dimensionals. Where's? I want to stick the dimensionals over. I don't want to put them down the bottom. I'm just going to pull this piece here up. I don't normally do that, but I want to stick a dimensional there. Okay. And then I'll just chop that little bit of paper off because I don't necessarily want to pull out that other bit. Now, because that's going to stick up there, I'm going to put a dimensional here, but I'm not putting one down this end. And the reason why I'm not putting one down this end is because I want to be able to slip that underneath after the darker one. Yeah, I like the dark one too. So, holding your tongue right, we'll just put that on there. Like so. Now, with this, I'm just going to slip that underneath there. I'm just going to tie a bow on it. All right. Actually, I'll tie a bow. I'll do a double bow with 2 of them. We'll see what it looks like. If I don't like it, we can take it off, can't we? Okay, so the trick is to keep, just days like this, I wish I had, need a couple more thumbs, I think. Hold your tongue right. Okay, yeah. 2 colours looks pretty. Okay, and then this one, I'm actually going to put glue on it. I'm not, oh, yeah, no, I won't. I'll stick dimensionals under it. Okay. Because I want it to sit up a bit. We're just going to slip that in underneath there and make sure our sentiment is, the word with needs to be straight. Okay. And we do want to put some gems on here. If you think your knot's going to move and be funny, you can glue it into submission with a glue dot. All right, card. Pop some glue on the back of here. Love this glue, less is best. Gives you a little wiggle room, all those sorts of things. And in we go. Now, I do want to just grab another piece of garden green. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves while I do that. Here's one I prepared earlier. There's more than one, because I think it needs the garden green to carry on through the middle. Okay, so with our inside, there's a couple of things that we can do here to make it carry on. One of them is finding the piece of basic white that's in here, and we're going to stamp on it. Okay, you can go ahead and you can stick these ones on if you wanted to. Okay, the same to match your front, but I might save those for another card because I think that they're really pretty. Too much? No, it's not going to work. It would have to be that way. I think it's too much. I don't think that's going to work. You don't need to use the whole leaf either. You can chop off, and that's what I'm going to do. See this one here? Just so that it brings some of that leaf from up the top there through, because I was thinking it looked a bit uneven. Okay, just to bring that one up there. And you'll see here I have got another one here, but it's not going to go down. So nobody said that we had to have yep, that's what we're doing, just to make it so that they follow through. Come on, there you go. No, it doesn't want to. There you go. Okay, so we're going to stamp on the inside here. So somewhere on the table, I have got my stamps again. But this time I am going to use the old olive, and then I am going to stamp over the top with the garden green. If you want to, you can stamp off. And I think sometimes stamping off is absolutely spectacular and works beautifully for us. And this one, I'm actually going to stamp it straight over the top with the garden green. But I am going to stamp it off. And the reason why I stamp off on that is I'm going to cover it up anyway. Okay. And we could probably get away with that'll teach me. Let's see if I can fix it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stamp it again. No. Oh, look, the other side. It's pretty. It's clean. It's new. Again, I'm going to stamp off. Okay. And garden green and stamp off. You'll notice I didn't go anywhere near the edge though. The reason why I didn't go near the edge was because I didn't want to. Oh my gosh, it's hard to see when you've stamped it off. I didn't want to, I don't want to be upset because I'm going to pop that over the top. Okay. They can go away. And that's going to be my inside. And I'll do the envelope to match. Okay. So I was trying to explain to Virginia on the weekend what happens when you, was it Virginia? No, it was another lady. When one of my newbies, when you stamping, doing some generational stamping and you stamp near the edge, I'm not sure how well it is to see, how easy it is to see, but if you see here, see how it's darker in one spot and then it's light? That's because I stamped along the edge, and these bits here, the ink didn't come off because they were stamped on the edge over there. All right, so that's still the same color as that, but the one underneath it's a little bit lighter. So you just have to be aware that you don't stamp in the same, like, just to make sure that that ink doesn't give you that line. So if you go off, oh man. Okay, stop talking and concentrate, Court. So I've got this really nice fingerprint thing happening here. Far out Brussels sprouts. Okay, so to fix that, we're going to stamp another one. Can't believe that I just did that. Actually, yes, I can. All right. We're just fixing that out and put more leaves over it. Don't you worry, Chris. I'm all over the leaves. Can't believe I did it though. Actually, yes, I can. It's too busy nattering. There you go. Fixed. No one will be any the wiser. Okay. Let's put some glue on this and get it inside that card before I stick anything else on it. What do you reckon? All right, let's stick some glue on it. My desk, like, is dirty. And we'll stick this inside here. Oh, lordy. Okay. And then I'm just going to wipe the desk over because I've got ink all over it. And the back of this card is white. So as you can imagine, it will pick up every mark. So far, all it's done is pick up a dimensional back, but that's okay. And now all we would need would be an envelope. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can then decorate the envelope. You can stick a piece of designer series paper on the back of here. You can stamp the leaves on the bottom of it, which is what I'm going to do. I do have a tendency to like stamping on the envelopes, as everybody knows, and I'm going to stamp them solid. Okay. They just, it comes up nice. The bummer is if it's raining when you send them, because the ink is water ink and it will run. But it just comes up nice. It's quite nice and vibrant. If you wanted to do tone on tone, you could stamp this off and have it tone on tone, but you don't need to. Now, I do think that card needs some gems. What do you reckon? Not many, but it does need a couple. So these are our beautiful earth tone shimmer gems, and I'm tempted to go with these. These ones are a pale, creamy, almost yellowy looking. These have got like a browner tinge to them, only just. I am going to go with those. I might stick a green one on it, but yeah, it's just a matter of deciding which ones you like and then putting them where you'd like them to go. So there's two different tools here. I just was playing. it's got a pointy end, and it's got a spatula on one end. You can actually buy extra tools. There is a tool that comes with this take your pick tool that has I need to get new. You can get replacement ends for this end, which has got it's got like a putty in it, so that these will stick to the putty. Mine's almost empty, but you can get replacements for your putty. The putty acts a bit like a rubber at times too, so my putty gets quite dirty. There is a stylus version as well that comes with the original pack, but then you can buy extra bits, and it just picks the gems up quite nicely. And put 3 down there and put 1 up there. Okay, and that's our card for today. All right, how good does that embossing look in there? All right, so today's tricks that we learned was we don't need to necessarily throw away a piece of paper. We can trim it down. It doesn't necessarily need to stay a circle. All right, doesn't need to stay a circle. Our other trick was embossing with 2 different mediums. So we've dry embossed with our embossing folder, but at the same time we've put Versamark on it, and we've added some heat embossing to that. We've used 2 pieces of twine so that we can get a multicolored look, and we've done some 2-tone stamping. So hopefully you all enjoyed that today as much as I've enjoyed hanging out with you. Any of you newbies out there that are looking to join Stampin' Up and get some goodies in your kit, you can get some beautiful stuff for great value in Australia. It's $169 for currently $281 worth of $286. I keep saying 81. I don't know why I've got that in my head, but you can get over $280 worth of stuff for $169, and that's a bargain, because you could actually just get the cut and emboss machine and a whole heap of embossing folders if you've already got a bit of a stash happening. So there's lots of different ways. The kit is your choice. It's a value-added kit, and it's only on special with extra value added this month. You can also get our Stampin' Up kits, like the little boxes of kits. They're really cute. There's some great things in them. There's really nice Christmas decorations, which I'm planning to make for my tree this year, and they're all at 30% discount, and you can add those to your joining kit as well if you just want to make some cards on the go. Great for places like caravans and taking away. I took some when I went to Fiji. I didn't get to do them because I was too busy doing other stuff like swimming and relaxing, but they're great for taking away because everything is included in the box. So it's something to think about. They also make wonderful gifts. Now, am I working next week? Not sure. If I'm working next week, you'll get a video that will come live at 3 o'clock. If not, I will see you same spot, same day, Thursday, for Hooray It's Thursday Live with Courtney next Thursday. Toodaloo, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Bye.